everybody, welcome back. My experiments and my pods are finally done, so I am finalizing my experiments and getting ready to send this whole package back to the planet. I forget which end was forward here and bump into the station, but luckily I managed to get away. Now at this point I'm not sure how this pod package is going to land. I thought about trying to do it all together as one ship, but I decided the experiments were too precious to chance, so I'm going to end up letting them go out with their own parachutes and separating them from the main ship just to keep them safe. And don't ask me why I'm accelerating here when I've got parachutes to slow me down. I just kind of like seeing how much speed I can cut off before I pull the trigger on the parachutes. And it all breaks into pieces, but I managed to save the pods. So now that we've got the science from that, at a low altitude, we're going to need to launch up more pods onto the station to get readings at a higher altitude. But the problem is, I have to be able to get the station to a higher altitude. But I have nuclear engines now, so I've built this little tow contraption, I guess you could call it, that I'm going to be using to tow the station up to a higher orbit. I can't actually push it with thrust, or it'll probably bend in half. So I'm going to have to pull it, and in addition to that, I'm going to have to load it up with a bunch of reinforcements on every docking port on the station. Otherwise it will probably wiggle to pieces and destroy itself in the process. So here we are. I initially wanted to join this tow tug up to the end of the zoology bay, but I ran into a problem. When I launched the zoology bay, I thought it would be kind of neat to use this alternate docking port that had monopropellant stored inside of it. The problem is, contrary to what the part said in the vehicle assembly building, it does not interface correctly with a standard docking port. So I pretty much rendered this end of the station useless for docking. But luckily the other end still has a standard docking port on it. So I just had to burn up a lot more monopropellant getting around to the other end. Now that that's in place, I have to go along here and attach struts to every single connection. I put a ladder next to my cargo container there so I wouldn't float away while I was trying to grab the struts. That was very handy. So basically just grab a strut and then place it, attach it as you float by, and then you have to get another strut end and put it opposite of the one that you placed. It's very tedious, especially considering for every single one of these docking port connections I put 4 struts on. So here we are attaching the other one, and then we just choose the other one and click link, and it makes the strut. All in all, I believe I had at least 24 struts that went into place to get this connected. It's a long, drawn-out process, but I'm pretty sure this will make sure that everything works out correctly when it comes time to lift the orbit of this gigantic station. So, now that that's in place, I brought up another set of science pods and connect them up. The thing is, you have to equalize the weight on both sides, so I had to move another tow pod around to the other side of the station too. But with these in place, we should be ready in the next episode to lift the orbit of the station and complete the next stage of science. So anyway, thanks for checking this out. Tune in next time when we see if this thing explodes.